Hello there, welcome back to another series of shows. This week is a very Japan orientated. I mean, there's lots and lots of Japanese directors. I mean, the only time I go outside Japan ends up involved in a film that's set in Japan. I mean, you know Japan for directors, but it's mainly Japanese focused directors this week, and so it's one of those things I couldn't resist. I've been in a kind of mood to watch a lot of films made by Japanese directors, so this week's going to be the Japan week basically. I'm going to start off by finishing off my Sion Sono series. Now, it doesn't mean I've finished all the films, but I've got through most of them, and there's a few more that I'll catch up on over time, and there's some TV shows I'll catch up on, and then I'll review them as I get through them. But the main series is kind of over now after this video. It's the main bit is done because I've kind of run out of stuff. I tried watching Strange Circus, but it was really dark. I might take a while to get through that one, but I did get. But I am finishing off with Himizu and an extra on Whispering Star, which is called I Am Sion Sono. It's a documentary about Sono. So that's what I'm going to cover for the end now. Himizu is another excellent Sono film. This one's from like the early 2010s. It's a love story, but it's a very dark love story, and it's basically a teenage couple. They're both 14, but they don't really become a couple till near the end because there's lots of difficulties in the relationship, and it's tricky. Shota Samatami plays the lead character. He's this 40-year-old boy. Now, he's an actor who I've been in some Sono films and a lot of different directors' films. He's one of those like emerging actors in Japan just now. He's really good. The actress, I'm not going to try and pronounce her name, Funi Nakamoto or whatever. I'm terrible with Japanese names. I probably butchered it. She's good as well, but she's not an actor I know as well. But the lead actor, he's been in some Sono films. He's been supporting parts. He's actually in another film I'm going to cover later on in the week. He was in First Love, where he was hilariously funny as one of the villains, and very dark and weird. He's one of those actors, whenever you see him in a film, he tends to be good. He tends to be doing something interesting. He tends to find something in the part to make his own, and really does a lot of work. He's one of those hard-working actors who tends to enjoy his craft. So you can see that in the performances. Like, he seems to always be enjoying himself and trying things out and doing his own thing. So he's terrific in this, and it's mainly his show. I mean, the girl in it is good, but she has a lot less to do than he does. I mean, it starts off when they're both at school. This is just post-earthquake, post-nuclear meltdown from the Japanese plant. It's from 2011, which has haunted a lot of the 2010 onwards Sono films. He seems very haunted by this event, and it's a lot of the people are now homeless. A lot of people had their houses ruined, had their jobs and their businesses ruined. So people who were once up and comers, who had good, who had good businesses, are now like homeless and are trying to survive as homeless. And the lead character, his mother used to owns this like boat hire shack basically. It's a terrible place, but because he's a business, he's seen as rich, even though he's really not. And in the film, he has a very dark view of humanity. He's a very dark view of how things are going to go. And he really doesn't take anyone's hope as serious. He doesn't see any hope for anybody. He seems... he just doesn't seem to like the aspirations of most people. He's a very damaged person. He's got a father who's a gangster, but he's not very good at it, and he keeps going back to the house to try and take money from the mother, and he keeps on telling his son how he wished he'd aborted him before he was born. And there's another point where the boy was drowned and he wished he hadn't saved him, and he keeps on telling him this every time he gets drunk, and it's really messed with the boy's head. And he's also got this girl who's a lead actress, and she's kind of stalking him because she's in love with him, because she's her own traumatic problems at home where her parents don't really want her, and her parents are just damaged. You know, so they're both kids who have damaged parents, parents who are selfish, just so self-involved, who cannot parent properly, should not be allowed to be parents. And so they both have sort of romantic illusion issues. One of them is so romantically disillusioned, which is a boy, and the girl is so into it, it's kind of annoying, and it annoys him, but he still kind of appreciates the fact she's really into him. But her uncritical view of him bugs him, because he thinks she should be critical of everything. So it's this sort of very tough, weird relationship they've got with each other. That he's pretty brutal too. He slaps her back across the head sometimes. He pushes her around a lot. She keeps on coming back and helping him out because she thinks there's something decent in him, but she's too enthusiastic. And she covers her room with things he said. Like, writes down what he says and puts them up in her room. She's that much of a stalker. And she's an enthusiastic stalker, which makes her really cute. As the film goes on, you start to see the effects of what's happened to the young guy, and how it's really damaging him, how it's like, he's trying to do his best, he's letting people who are homeless live on on the land that his mother owns. His mother abandons him early on in the film. She says, you run the business now, it's yours, you can do what you want, I don't want to do this anymore, because she kept bringing guys back and he was all sarcastic to them and causing trouble with them. So she leaves him. And he just runs the thing, and he tries to be nice to people. It's just that he's so depressed, he's so chronically depressed, and no one cares. Because he's a business, people see him as rich. But he's not really rich, he's just barely surviving. But he's viewed as rich because his family business wasn't destroyed. And it's kind of like the downturn of these people and what actually happens to them and what the funk they're in, and how does like the depression, like societal depression, affect a person, and how does bad parenting affect a person, how does a terrible life affect people. And it's something no one brings up in most mainstream films, and most mainstream films are come from the point of view of middle class people, really. It's a middle class medium, generally, and usually when you come to the poor people and any poor characters, always patronising. Usually working class people are treated patronisingly in arts, and if you have a drama that's set in the working class, unless it's read by someone who comes from the working class, it tends to be patronising. And this film's about the damage it's done. The damage is done by people who do not care about the dispossessed, the people who do not care about anything, how these people are left to survive on their own, and how they try and form their own little groups of society, and how damaged people can be by that, even though they're trying their best. And this kid gets damaged badly. I mean, halfway through the film, he gets into a scuffle with his father, ends up killing his father and burying the body, and this sends him in a spiral of he desires to become a vigilante. He desires to take vengeance on people who are going to do evil to others. And it never works out for him, and whenever he goes to do something, backfires. I mean, he's never caught in anything. He's always like floating around the mess of the rest of society, and you see more young men like him who act in violence, who are dispossessed, who can't find a place in this new world that's post-earthquake. And it's all about why do kids go violent. It's just because there's a hope in life is gone. And a big theme of the film is the older people who've been dispossessed, they see this young man as the future of the country. It's like, yeah, we've had our time, things have gone badly, we'll survive. This kid actually has some drive to him if he can get out from under his problems. And they see the kids as the future to survive, to actually help them get above it. And there's other people who are like gangsters who don't see it that way, they just see it as they'll have to learn the way we learned, and they're selfish. So you have two different pools pulling at these characters and what way do you survive? Do you become selfish and self-involved like the parents or like the gangsters, or do you become selfless like the homeless people who have had the worst of it but still don't give up? Even though they know they'll never get back to where they were, they will still try and retain some humanity. And that's the pulls that come at the lead character, and you see him get dragged left and right trying to figure it out. The girl tends to go towards, well, our problem, she goes towards the optimistic side. But she doesn't get away with stuff. She just calls him out on what he's doing wrong, and she will fight him to actually get him to do the right thing. And to do the right thing is to actually own up to what happened with his father and say, I did this, and accept he'll go to jail for a while. And it's very difficult for him. He's very suicidal. He's very much, he can't quite connect with anybody. Even people try to connect with him, he can't feel the connection with them. And it's like, and the story is based on him trying to reconnect with people. That's, I mean, it's the, what's great about the film is it is about the painful side of reconnecting with people, and how do you survive, and do you want to survive? It's a wonderful film. It's not a great Sono film. Highly recommended. You have to see it. The performances are great. The atmosphere is great. It was done in like 20 days and on a pretty low budget, and it looks amazing. It's shot right around the sites of the disaster. But it's what you can do in a low budget with a director who knows what he wants, with a cast who know what they're doing. Because Sono has a lot of actors he's worked with before, so that when he gets to work, they all know what they're doing, they all know what the direction they're aiming at, so it means he can be a very efficient director. And it means it gives his film a lot of consistency, so he likes using actors used before and have them adjust their performance here or there, not be exactly the same. So it's a wonderful film. Himizu is another great Sono film. Now, I Am Sion Sono is the documentary on the Whispering Star, and it's very good. It's more conventional than any Sono film, because it's a documentary. They try and make it unconventional by focusing on his artworks for a while before because they shot it over time, over Sono going through different projects, and they try to shoot it as if it's a Sono film in a weird way, because it's called I Am Sion Sono. But it's not, it's a documentary. It still has documentary feels to it, and it still explains things more than Sono would in his films. I mean, Sono has people verbalising, but with Sono in his films, it's what they verbalise, what it actually means to them. There's sometimes a real disconnect. And this one is just straightforward verbalising what it's about, because it's a documentary. There's no ambiguity there the way there is in a Sono film. But you get to see a lot of the people, the collaborators, talk about him, basically saying, and Himizu apparently during the first read through he was drunk. So he's a bit unconventional director, and he still went ahead and with it. And apparently he doesn't give that many notes, and he can be a bit grumpy on set. But the thing you see from this film is, yeah, he's pretty brutal to actors. I think he wants them to be their best. He doesn't want them to fall back in convention. But apparently he gives very good notes, and he's very good with them. It's just that he is brutal. If they're not up to scratch, he expects professional performance, so he will get out of them. And he has a lot of collaborators he talks to, and he brings everyone into his ideas, and he adjusts as he goes, and he adds stuff, takes away stuff, and he lets the film breathe really as he goes. And he discusses the other films where he was a lot less commercial and a lot more in his head, and how he didn't work for years because he followed up a minor success with a weird art house film that no one liked, but he likes anyway, and how his early experimental stuff still comes into his art, because he's an artist as well, and how he works a lot by instinct. So you see a lot about Sono, but it doesn't feel like a complete picture. You get a lot of the idea that he's not the easiest person to live with. His wife is one of his actresses, and she gives the impression that she loves him, but sometimes he needs a smack. You know, he's like, sometimes he's in his head too much, and he's not always the easiest to live with, and he gets drunk and repeats himself a lot, and, you know, he's just an artist who, everyone who loves with anybody, you know, knows their habits. you know, and he's just his own habits. So there is an affectionate look at him, and it does talk about how he sees the world, how he sees him talking to other directors who are pals of his, and how they joke about certain things, and how they just talk about films the way film fans talk about films. They want theories about films, like what director does this, what director does that, who's good at what, but they're directors as well. But they're still talking pulps and stuff about the same things that anyone else, any other film fan does. So his idea is that most directors are film fans. Primarily, they just go one step further and start making films. So it's a very interesting look at someone who is, it would be dysfunctional in a lot of areas, but he actually is quite, he knows what he's doing, he's a professional at what he does, he knows what he's doing, he can organise a film, go and shoot it, he knows how to do all that stuff. He just comes across as someone who might be a bit off, but he knows he's kind of, he shuffles around and makes his films and things get done, and he's juggling multiple projects, but it doesn't ever seem to get him down. He always seems to be handling it. Whenever comes in with money, he does that. So it's and he does have a sense of humour about his projects. Like, he makes a joke about how he cares about this one, so that'll make it much harder. He doesn't care. He has to fight to keep his interest up, which is just a joke, but I'm sure some people would take it seriously. So it's a really fun documentary. It's just not as good as any Sono film. It's just like, a Sono film is unique and this one's not unique. It just tells you about Sono though. So it's an enjoyable film. So you can get in a Whispering Star third window release. You should get that release for the film. The film's amazing. But the documentary is good as well. It's just not as great as this films. I mean, I don't see myself watching this as much as I rewatch his films, you know. But it is enjoyable. So I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll be back soon with some more, but this is the end of the Sono series for now. Right, see you later.